Hi, I'm Rebecca. I live in Southwest Missouri. I garden in Zone 6B. I'm going to try to do a kind of quick little garden video to show where this is starting and where I'd like for it to go. Kind of for accountability for myself and just to see what kind of progress I make month to month. I started this garden bed probably a couple months ago, and we're repurposing stuff that we already had, buying clearance plants, and just trying to make do with what we have and do this as economically as possible, because I do have other hobbies and can't spend all my money on just the garden. So I started out putting, this is our dog run, dog play area, and so I started putting these cinder blocks on this side of the fence, but I believe I'm going to move them to the other side of the fence and probably plant marigolds or something like that along the back side. And in this corner here, we have our satellite dish, and I hope it's not too windy and that you can hear me okay. We have our satellite dish, but I want to plant something with winter interest in this corner. I'm not sure what yet, but it can't get too tall because it can't interfere with the satellite dish. Oh, and there's a big old orb weaver. Let me get a zoom in on that. Let's see if I don't know if it's zooming in or not. There's a big old orb weaver. I've walked into one of those webs before. Not fun. So here we have catmint planted. This is rosemary and a trio of catmint, Shasta daisy, more rosemary, blanket flower. These concrete red landscaping blocks, my husband and neighbor had bought a pallet of them to do some projects around our house and his house, and these were left over. They had previously been around the chicken coop, and the chickens are gone, the chicken coop is leaving, and so I'm repurposing them over here for the flower bed. These concrete planters our neighbor had made, and he had a bunch of them, and some of them he had already given to us. And when he saw I was using them over here, he said, "Hey, I've got some more. You want them?" "Yes, sir. Would like to have them. Thank you very much." We went and got them. More blanket flower, coreopsis. Can't think of the names of these right now. Maybe Dianthus. I don't know what the purple one is. Can't think of that. Lemongrass. More blanket flower. I did put down cardboard. I'll be moving dirt over here from another area. And sorry about the shadow. More Dianthus. More coreopsis. So we'll be bringing the garden bed down to here. My husband wants to put in a 8-foot gate so he can get equipment in and out, because this tree does have some issues and he may have to do some work on it sooner or later. On this side of the fence, I thought about doing a container garden. I'm not sure about that yet. Definitely want to put a fountain either on this side or the other side. This is a double pink knockout rose, or pink double rose. It's knockout, that's all I know. This little square area in here I'm probably going to incorporate into part of the garden as well on the other side of the steps down the hill, but that'll be at a later date. I want to get this garden bed situated first. Right now, most of the flowers I'm getting are for full sun, part shade. This tree here will be coming down in the spring, and then they'll be getting a lot more sun over in this area. So I hope to get out here and be able to work on this some tomorrow. That's why I'm trying to get this documented today, so that next month hopefully I have quite a bit to show as far as changes. This is documentation for me, accountability, also hopefully helping other peoples that seriously need to garden on a budget, because I know a lot of the big channels, they're saying they're gardening on a budget and then they turn around and drop, you know, $1,000 on plants or trees or walkways or, you know, what have you. And it's like, yeah, we're talking maybe $60 a month budget here if we're, you know, because I do have other hobbies and bills. But So this is a Nandina my mother gave me that came from Arkansas. And I have a, pardon me, Artemisia that needs to go in the ground. More catmint that does really well here. More lemongrass, that's daylilies. Garden phlox, I want to get a lot more of this because it looks green pretty much all year round. It looks beautiful in the spring, and plus it can be mowed over. So my plan is hopefully all around the front of this garden bed to plant the creeping phlox and maybe creeping thyme, but you know, ground cover like that looks good pretty much all year long and can be run over with a mower without getting hurt, and then that way you're not really having to edge. My husband can mow and not worry about it, and I'm not having to, you know, edge around the flower bed. It's just kind of naturally getting done with the mower. Now this is a red knockout rose. It hasn't been too happy here, so I may move it, but of course I haven't been fertilizing stuff. I have this bed got put in maybe 4 years ago, and it was put in when a neighbor gave me 2 azalea bushes. The azalea bushes died, but everything else is pretty well doing good. There's one of the azalea bushes, and there's the other azalea bush. So they didn't do too well, but everything else, especially the phlox, is doing pretty good. There's another blanket flower. I'm not sure what this is coming up, but it is some flowers I planted. We moved my husband's mother's hen and chicks to this spot, the place where they were in before. They weren't getting quite enough sun and they weren't as happy, so this is mostly, a friend had used this for a umbrella holder, so it's full of cement with rocks on top. So the dirt is very shallow, but the hens and chicks seem to like it very much. They like it being in the sun, and they don't mind the shallow dirt, so we're hoping that they'll do really well there and do some spreading. So like I said, this garden bed's been here about 4 years. That one I started a couple months ago, and I'm going to get turned around here just a second. This was my attempt at a veggie garden. It did not go very well. These cinder blocks I'm reusing in the new garden bed, and then we'll also probably be using some of it around we have a camper trailer, and we need to make a spot to park it, and also a spot to turn it around so we're not having to back out onto the farm road highway to get going to go camping. So reusing the cinder blocks, going to be reusing as much of the dirt as I can, reusing what mulch that I can, using leaves from mulch. Again, we're trying to do this economically, use what we have, and you know, try to just not spend a lot of money but still make it beautiful. This was our chicken coop, and had chickens for several years. They've all moved on, and so we had thought we were going to sell the chicken coop, and my husband did a lot of bracing on it so it could be moved, and then the people, I guess, backed out. So I don't know if he's going to still try to sell it, or if he's going to just dismantle it, or what's going to go on with that. He'll take care of that part. You can see, you know, the yard doesn't look great where the chickens had been digging, but it's getting growed up. This is the little chicken coop that I had for the pullets when I raised some baby chicks, and I need to do something with it. It's my responsibility to get rid of the little chicken coop. He's going to take care of getting rid of the big chicken coop. We have this fence row here that has some, I don't know if you can see them, has some Rose of Sharon in it. Has probably about 3 or 4 Rose of Sharon bushes in it that are probably over 6 years old. I'd love to get that fence line cleaned out, hope maybe even take that fence down, and just have the Rose of Sharon there so we can just mow around the base of them and not have to worry about all that growth in the fence line. This is a garden bed around the back of our house that you can see needs a lot of love. It's also where a lot of the red landscaping blocks were used. I may be moving some of these plants to the new flower bed. We have creeping thyme that is just really doing well. We have a dead plant that I don't even remember what that was. The juniper, is that a juniper? whatever that is doing well. The butterfly bush is doing fantastic. There was some verbena maybe underneath the little saucer that it's not blooming right now. And then this is a yellow knockout rose. I'm not real thrilled about the blooms on it, but also haven't been taking good care of it. I'm going to probably move it and get it where it's in a happier position. Let me see if I can get, yeah, okay. So there's the blooms on whatever that was. Lantana, maybe, verbena. I'm not real good with plant names. I will try to do better on the next one and have some better plant names for you. I'll never probably be able to remember their fancy names. Hopefully I can remember their, basic everyday names like butterfly bush, knockout rose, creeping thyme, creeping thyme. So anyway, that's kind of where we are. I'm probably going to be, robbing Peter to pay Paul, taking plants from this bed and putting them in the new flower bed. I'd put landscaping timber in this bed, and I've decided I don't want to use landscaping fabric anywhere. So if I take these plants out, I can pull up the landscape fabric and just start fresh with this bed and take that from there. So not sure what my plans are yet for this bed, but I want to redo this bed as one of my other projects. So I have several projects I want to work on. But the front garden bed, which actually is the east side of our house, is the main focus right now. So here we are back at the side yard flower bed on the east side of our house. And it is August 17th today. And hopefully come back in a month and there will be changes. Hopefully that little chicken coop will have gotten moved. Hopefully these cinder blocks will have gotten moved. Hopefully more cardboard and some dirt and some mulch will be added, and possibly some more flowers and plants. So just documenting progress, hoping for accountability, and also to be inspiring on a frugal budget. So if you have any questions, comments, suggestions, you can post those below. If you like the simple life, enjoy gardening, camping, dogs, sewing, quilting, please subscribe. And if you enjoyed what you saw today, even with the wind and the shadows and the no editing, please like and have a great day.